Hey all, 118 Set Shadow here. So there are a lot of items that we need to go over for today, so I'm going to get straight into it. So, first thing I want to cover today is Trail of Light, which I had been talking about how this card is going to be a keystone when it comes to all the Natra decks that we are getting as part of Set 7, and the hype is finally starting to sink in. The promo variant that you got from a prior showdown, which utilizes the old artwork, is now short on listings, and it's still 75 cents, and the market price is 76 cents there. So while there's a shorter amount of listings, at the very least, it's still cheap. In comparison to the newer promo that comes out of the Shop Challenge, which has its alternate art, that one has been bought out to the point of $15 with a market price of around $7.50, and only 2 listings on the market there. This is the one that's intended to be more of the bling option, but given that this set in particular, Set 7, utilizes this more often than most others, it was a definite something like this was going to happen. Interestingly enough, the original from Set 1 is still higher priced than the foil promo of the same artwork. That starts at $1, and the market price is also higher at 92 cents compared to the promo's 76 cents. There's a Glory Finder variant too, with 48 cents as the starting listing, but there aren't as many copies of that one on the market. Ultimately, you might as well just go for the one from Set 1 instead in that case. Enchanted Dress, as well as Enchanted Slippers. These two are cards for Idol Masters. Whenever you play the universe, you're allowed to play these tokens in your EX area to start with to perform lessons. So the dress comes out as a winner promo for the Open 8 for the Idol Masters pack, while the slippers is our current shop tournament winning promo that you can get each week. So the Enchanted Slippers should eventually go down in price further as we go along, starting at 30 right now with 3 listings, and they go up to 40 right now with not many copies. But when it comes to the dress, that one's not getting reprinted, so this one will maintain some more value. It's starting at 66 right now, but not as many sales either, although this one actually goes all the way up to 131. Idol Masters will slowly fall out of favor, and unless there's another collab set, this is more or less just going to become a collector's token, which is still nice. Then, on the topic of collector items, we've also got Spinaria, Keeper of Enigmas. In particular, the one you could get from this past season's set of Showdowns, which is an alternate art. Even I'm having trouble trying to get my 3rd copy right now, and because this one has just not been on the market very much. We've had a few listings that have popped up here and there, and overall only 4 of them. The high sale price on this has been $50, while the low sale price has been $43. Honestly, I find that to be very shocking, given that while Spinaria is not heavily used in a bunch of Forestcraft decks right now, it does see play here and there. And when you consider the Showdown promo for Dark Alice that came out earlier before, and that one sold for as high as 80, it's surprising to see that this one is selling much lower in comparison. In any case, it's every single time it goes up on the market for these prices, it just gets bought really fast. So I could imagine if it does go up again, it would probably have to be at least around 70. That would be my take on it. Talking a little bit about Uma Musume, given that we do need to watch out for the second collaboration set that is coming for Japan. I don't know what the release date is on that, I'll have to go back and check, but just to go over some things. First is Gold Ship, which, I mean, this is a more luck sack card where you're just looking at the top deck to see how much damage and health you can do and get. And then if it does manage to survive a turn, it's an 18 swing to face if your opponent doesn't have a ward, which can be very devastating and a game winner. But this card, I mean, yeah, it's cheap. So if you just want to prep for Uma Musume's second collaboration set, it's cheap to pick up. Market price is less than 50 cents on the regular one. The Super Legendary has a market price under $5 right now. And the SP isn't even $50. I mean, for good reason. This is nothing more than just a haha funny sort of strategy if you're intending to try and play this. Something that you'll want to watch out for, though, is outrunning the encroaching heat, which is really cheap right now. But given that this is an Uma Musume card that can give one of your followers Storm, that could be a defining factor depending on just what kind of support we get later. But there are tons of listings on the market for this one, including on the foil variant, which only has a market price of about $1.25. So easy to pick up. I'd say just have a place set in your back pocket. Ginsetsu Great Fox. The base legendary has been completely sold out. The current market price on this card is around $15.50, and the high sale price on this for the last 3 months has been $20. Low sale price was $6, so this card has been one of those that progressively saw a market price increase, and it's just a great generic to consider for Abysscraft right now, given that it's just a great way to establish a full-on defense while also potentially going for a pretty big swing to face on the next turn. It's a card that usually has to get answered very quickly. Aether of the White Wing. This one sees periodic play, or I should say, it sees some limited play, but in a number of different types of decks. So, something I wanted to call out here is that the Super Legendary, despite the fact that there's an ultimate rare of this card, there's actually a buyout on the Super Legendary right now, or at least it's running low on stock. Right now, the base price is $9.50, but the shipping and handling on those ones is over... It's basically $4 to $5 to pick up whatever's on those listings. There are no copies of the Glory Finder reprint, which had a market price of around $3, and the original from set 4 is around $4 to pick up right now. Definitely good to have at least one or two of these in your back pocket if you're intending to play Haven. The Evo version of Robo-Goblin is short on listings right now, and keep in mind, this is a silver. Right now, there are only 2 listings on the market, and while the market price has taken a dive, it's still just over 50 cents. Oh, that is really bad. The 2 listings available have one at 45 cents, and then we have another one right after that at $5 a piece. This is not the foil version, this is the regular one. So, yeah, we need to see more of these back on the market. But this is going to be a problem when it comes to set 7, thanks to the reduction of the number of booster packs that we're getting. I mentioned this before. Silvers and golds and even bronzes, for any of them that are really popular or really necessary as generics, those will probably get bought out quite quickly, especially the neutrals, since they're utilized a lot between the Natura and the Machina archetypes. And futuristically, they can see play too once we get more support for them. Then there's also Maisha, Hero Purgation. This one is not specific to Machina or Natura at all, but the Evo on this one, which is a gold, is also almost out of stock right now with only 2 listings. The lowest price is currently just under $5, and then the next listing after that is $5, but with a $5 shipping tag as well. This one's market price also dropped off from the initial sales point, but again, watch these, especially when it comes to the Evos, because those tend to move up faster than the base forms. Revisiting Technolord to see where it's at now. The regular legendary is now a base price of just over $29, while the super legendary is currently at around $36. And both of them have less than 10 listings remaining right now, but both of them also have market prices around $27, interestingly enough. The ultimate rare of Technolord, though, which is also the waifuified one, is at $165 base with 3 listings, which is higher than the current market price of $137. Then you've got Viridia Magna, which the base form of this one has not been taking off too heavily. It's $17 right now to pick up the regular one, and $27 to pick up the super legendary, both of which are below their current respective market prices. However, the Evo is a different story. The Evo is matching on its market price for the regular one at around $29, while the super legendary version of this one, and because this has no ultimate, this is almost $50 to pick up. Right now it's around $46, but the market price on this one is $30. Mono is one of the cards to watch out for this coming format, and we saw an initial dip on a lot of its different copies, much as we saw with many of the other cards from set 7, which is another thing I want to cover, is that during the initial release, after a few days afterward, we just started seeing massive drop-offs in prices on set 7 singles, and now they're all recovering to rather suitable or potentially even more overpriced values. In the case of Mono, you were able to pick this card up for as low as $5 for a while, and even the Super Legendary was as low as around $7 for the base form. When it comes to the Evo is actually lower priced than the base form in this case, probably because the Evo also has an ultimate rare, but that is still really strange when you compare it to stuff like Viridium Magna. The Evo version starts at $8, the Super Legendary is around $10, and then the Ultimate is almost $140. Mistolnia, the Forest Princess, which is also going to be part of another popular sword deck for Natura this format, is really cheap in comparison to its Super Legendary, where it's $3 to pick up with 27 listings on the regular one, but there's a buyout on the Super Legendary, putting it at over $16. However, the market price there is $8, and there are 7 listings, and given the stark difference in price, I would think that the Super Legendary would come back down, but Sword is supposed to be one of the more prominent builds, so it's kind of surprising to see the card so cheap at this point in the first place. The one that's more expensive right now is Baleon, where its base form is actually around $3 right now, but the market price is almost $5. The Evo is the more expensive one at $6.40 for the base price, and the Super Legendary is almost $15, but the Super Legendary of the base form is still under $10 and has over 10 listings as well. There's also Desert Pathfinder for Natura. This one is still pretty well available, but as a gold, having 12 listings is still a bit of a concern. Not down under 10 listings yet, but it's $150 right now for the base price, and the market price is almost $2. And when it comes to consolidation of this one, it's actually closer to $2. And finally, Mecha Wing Angel, which is currently at 78 cents with 19 listings as the base, but this one, of course, is also just one you want to watch out for as a gold. With close to 20 listings, that's at least going to be easier to pick up, and this one is under $1 pretty solidly with the number of quantities that are currently available. So just keep watch for a lot of these, and there are a few more that I haven't been able to cover today, such as, what is there? The Cook, as well as the, wow, I can't remember the name, but it's the other cycler intended for Machina that's like the Cook. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.